Welcome to Feed Me Friday. This is take 3 for me. First one wasn't good enough, and the second one, the lighting wasn't right. People having a good nose in your boat. Can't not do it, can they? Lighting wasn't last night. I've learnt a lot over the past 48 hours in filming, and I know the importance of lighting photography. I know the importance of lighting in filming. I didn't get it right last night, and it all ended up a bit grainy, so I'm hoping that this is going to be slightly better. So this is pork chops, chips and mixed veg, albeit I've only got a pork chop left. But the whole premise of this is I put chips in the oven for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes I take them out and then turn the grill on, and then I have to cook the pork chop, which is where we are right now, cooking the pork chop. And I've got a manky measly one left, just as well as it happens. So pork chop on the thingy grill thing, with foil underneath because it saves in cleaning, and that goes under the grill for, well, 10 minutes each side. So what I want to talk to you about today is the weather. It's a very typically British thing to do, talk about the weather. It's rained over the past week or so, and then the sun's been out, and then it's been windy and it's rained again. The boat's still here. It hasn't sunk, it hasn't leaked, which I'm rather pleased about. And you can argue, well, it shouldn't leak, and no, you're right, it shouldn't. But you never know until you get a complete downpour, and we've had a couple of complete downpours, which has risen the canals slightly, which is only a good thing. However, this is not a bad thing. I have noticed that instead of the boat, also, you know, when boats go past, my boat then goes to bow and stern, and depending on how fast the boats go does depend on how much of a judder you get as the boat is trying to be ripped apart from the pins that's been pegged in. But I'm also noticing a lot more rocking side to side, port to starboard, and I think that's down to a few more inches on the canal, few more, and a lot more rocking for some strange reason. But a lady went by, and I was up there doing me early morning chores, and she said, "How can you not like pennies from heaven?" What a lovely saying that was. You know, pennies from heaven is the rain. Great saying. What a lovely lady, what a lovely expression. And I've never heard of that before, but you know, that's another one of those expressions that I'm going to use at the appropriate time, if of course I can remember it, which is one of those things. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about today was the oven. Now I have a grill and oven thing. It's called a Thetford Duplex. So I've got the grill on the top and an oven underneath. So it does grilling well and it does oveny stuff well, but does it do both things well? Answer: it's difficult. So whilst today on camera, to make this a shorter vlog as well, I'm only showing you the pork chop, and it's as the fat is melting through. Oh, I do like pork chops, and I do like the fat on the outside, favourite bit, particularly when it's crispy. back to the oven. Anyway, I did some chips yesterday, put them in for 20 minutes, put them at the bottom of the oven, and then did 20 minutes of pork chopping under the grill. Now, the chips stayed warm, which gives me hope for doing something like a Christmas dinner. If you put, I mean, that's not big enough to put a turkey in. I could put a big chicken in there and cook the chicken, and as long as nothing else needs grilling, but of course you've got your pigs in blankets, they would need grilling. I suppose I could do them in the oven with the chicken. The thing here is, I can do pork chops, chips and mixed veg in a oneer, although the chips don't stay hot for long when on the plate. It's one of those things that I've got to cope with. And also, someone's mentioned it would be good to cook a Christmas dinner to see what it's like. And with an oven as small as this, I have to admit it will be a challenge. It would be. And I think someone mentioned on the Q&A vlog, what would I change if I had to build this boat again, or have this boat built again? And that would be a bigger oven, to have a separate oven and grill. I think that will be the biggest change. However, I wonder how often I would need that bigger oven and grill. I can remember seeing a boat that's got a household cooker in it. Trouble is, the household cooker is 600mm wide, to do with one of these unit things. It's about that, and then won't go out the door. So providing the cooker works, everything's okay, but when the cooker doesn't work, it's a little bit of a nightmare, I reckon, to try and change it. However, let's see how this is getting on. Seems to be cooking quite nice. Now, what do I do with my pork chops that makes you think that you need to watch me doing something on pork chops, which no doubt most of you are better at cooking than me? And that is it's like a marinade thing. It's a caramelized thing that goes on the top, and that is English mustard and sugar and cheese. I generally like French mustard, I like American mustard, but English mustard is a bit, generally speaking, it's a bit tangy, sharp, makes the back of your throat and the back of your ears and your brain fizz because it's a bit hot. However, this isn't Coleman's, this is another version of it which is less hot, or maybe my taste buds have changed slightly. English mustard or some form of mustard with some sugar and some cheese. Look at that. Does look nice. It does. All I need to do now is turn that over. Ooh, look at that. Gorgeous. And stick it back for a little bit longer. With this meal, there is a lot of sitting around doing not an awful lot. So, it's probably one of the easiest meals because I don't have to be tied to the kitchen. It's just a matter of observing the pork chops, observing the chips and all that sort of stuff. So sometime later, I've cut my cheese up. I've cut the cheese. And the secret is not to eat it. I've been watching on the box just recently, Wire in the Blood. It's on the channel with the smiley face, A to Z, and stars Robson Green as a police psychologist that profiles bad guys or bad people. Very good, to be honest. And if you forget about the cars, because the cars are old, if you forget about the mobile phones and the computer, so the up-to-date tech, still very relevant, I think, and still very well produced, acted and all that sort of stuff, which is why I kind of liked The West Wing, which was 20 odd years ago plus, perhaps. And again, for the same reasons, cars, computers, phones, you know, all that tech type stuff, everything else relevant, absolutely. So is Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister, which was 70s, well, early 80s. Still, when there was no computers then, everybody was just doing paper and pencil and reading with files and stuff like that. Very good. But as far as grills and ovens are concerned, I think that Thetford Duplex thing is very good. Because it's small, it doesn't take long to heat up as far as an oven. And as for a grill, well, it's just a grill, isn't it? To be honest. Now, to caramelise that, well, I don't know whether it caramelizes it or not, but sweeten it up. It's very nice with a little bit of sugar on top, like that. Gorgeous. And then on top of that, some bits of cheese. Anyway, back in there for another couple of minutes. What was I on about? Age concern, don't know. Well, here we go. Pretty much done. Oven glove, tea towel. Lovely. Turn it on. What I need is a little plate. Look at that. To be honest, the bonus of doing this a third time is that I now I've eaten all the pork chops, but the pork chop is lovely. You've got the sweetness of the sugar mixed in with the sharpness of the English mustard, and then the cheesy. So there's all lots of little tastes that's going around, and along with chips and gravy and a bit of mixed veg is a lovely meal. Can I cope with 4? Probably not. It'd have to be 2 sittings. Certainly cope with 2. I think, you know, me and somebody else on the boat. Absolutely delightful. Worth a go. Well, I say that on all my dishes, but as a pork chop thing, lovely. So, comment below. How do you cook your pork chops? if indeed you have pork chops, let us know in the comments. But for now, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, give it a go, because more of this, not necessarily cooking, but boaty stuff on a Wednesday, alternate Fridays is something that I do some cooking and some chatting, and alternate Sundays, Sandbag Sunday, is where I moan about the world. But for now, ciao!